So this is looking great. But the problem is that even if we don't cheat, even if as a user, as the player, we don't see that the goblin is always in position 3, it won't take long for us to realize that, well, if I play the game a few times, I'll soon realize it's always in position 3. That's not fun. So let's make it a bit more interesting by making goblin position a random number. And you want the computer to choose the number for you. You as a programmer, whatever number you put in there will always be the same. So you want the program, when it's running, to pick a random number. Now, so far, we've used lots of commands in Python. We've used print and input. These are what we call functions. I've been careful not to put in too many names, but now I'll start introducing the names. So print and input are functions. They are a bit like the verbs, if you like. They do something. We've also used while and if and else. These are keywords, they're not functions. Doesn't matter, we'll come back to all of these things. What matters is all of these things are always there. The moment I open the new file, a new .py file, to write in Python, I had access to a number of functions and keywords like print, like input, int. In fact, everything here, if it's not something that I've created, like player name is a variable I've created, goblin position, if it's not that, it's something that exists in Python and it's ready to use. But Python has lots more commands that are readily available when you open a file like this. Here's how I like to picture this. You'll see very soon that I like analogies, and I'm going to start. I've already started painting one of the favorite analogies that I'll talk about later on. I like to think of Python as having a big library, one of those old-fashioned libraries with high ceilings, books covering every inch of the wall from floor to ceiling. And each book in this library has lots of Python words, functions, and lots of Python commands, whatever they are. And in order to fetch a book from this library, each one has a certain theme, right? So you have a book to do this and a book to do that. They're not books, right? They're modules. But in my analogy, let's imagine them as books in the library. So I'm going to we always go to the top of the program to fetch these books. And we're going to use the Python keyword import. So import is one of the words that's always there in Python. But we're going to use it to go to this library and fetch a book, fetch a module. And here I'm going to use the random module. So there's a book, a module called random. I brought it in, and it's now in my program. It's now ready to use in my program. So random is not, it doesn't do anything. It's a collection of commands, and those commands will do something. So let's see how we can use this book. I want to go now to line 11. I no longer want goblin position to be equal to 3. I want Python to choose from me, and there is a tool in the random book that allows me to do this. And I'm going to say from the random book, random is just a book, right? It's just a module. It doesn't do anything, but I can open it. We've already seen the dot briefly in one of the videos. We'll see a lot more of the dot in the coming videos. This means inside the random module, and you can see here that PyCharm is showing me all the contents of this book. And I want to use a command called randint, which you may guess stands for random integer, so random whole number. And before I finish this line, let me jump to the console to see what random not random does. This is quite useful, right? When you have a new tool, go to the console, to the REPL, try it out, experiment with it to see how it works. A reminder that the console is a separate environment from this file. So I'm going to have to import random again here because it's a different environment. And I want to try random.randint. Now, random.randint, randint is a function that needs 2 bits of information. For example, 1, 10, and it's going to give me a random number between 1 and 10. Now, you might think, oh, that's 10. Let's try it again. I've got 9, 2. You can see every time I'm running this random.randint 1, 10, the program is choosing a random number between 1 and 10. So that's what random.randint does. It gives me back, just like input gave me back some information, in that case it was whatever the user types in, random.randint gives me back a number. In this case, a random number between 1 and 10. But in our program, we don't want 1 to 10, we want 1 to 5, so 1, 5, because the goblin position can be in 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So if I run the program now, I can no longer cheat, because now as a user, I generally do not know where the goblin is. It could be anywhere in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me try 3. It's not there. It was always in 3 before, but now it could be, but I have only a 1 in 5 chance. Let's try 2. Let's try 1. Let's try 4. Let's try 5. I was unlucky there. I had to go all the way to the end. 5. Well done. And you can see that the program has now ended. Let me just try it one more time, and you can obviously have a play with this. Let's try 5 again now. It's not in 5 now. 4, 3, 2, 1. And you might think, is it always the last one? No, that's just random. So let me try one more time to make sure that it's not always the last attempt. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Here I got it was in kitchen door number 4. So now I have a game. The goblin is always in random position, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep trying as a user, as a player, to find where the goblin is. And once I do, the game ends and I win, I assume.